Peppa Pig is a global hit, but let's be real, no show is truly perfect. Today, we're diving into some hilarious animation errors you probably never noticed. First, let's look at some mistakes we spotted in the episode Evie. Like in this scene, when Grandpa Pig is ringing the doorbell, we can see that his nose is sticking inside the door, even before Daddy Pig opens the door. I think Grandpa Pig is eager to get in and meet little Evie. Look at this teddy balloon right here, it's opaque, meaning you can't see through it. But earlier, it was translucent. And also in the same scene, the teddy balloon becomes translucent again. The episode Perfect Day is full of imperfection. When the pig family enters the mall, we see the queen inside an umbrella shop. But when the pig family walks by the umbrella shop, the queen isn't there anymore. When the pig family enters Miss Rabbit's spa, we see Mr. Bull is also there getting a massage. But the issue is, moments ago, he was in a china shop. Later, the pig family exits the mall and gets in their car, but there is a mistake here. Earlier, when they arrived at the mall, their car was parked facing the mall, but now it's facing the opposite direction. And when they arrive at their home, Daddy Pig jumps out of the car, and here's where we spotted a mistake. He's wearing green boots, but earlier, he was seen entering the car wearing black shoes. In the episode Fun Run, we noticed a bunch of mistakes. Look at Daddy Pig here. He's standing right in front of the window, but now he's standing right beside the window. And it's not just Daddy Pig whose position keeps changing. Look at the bucket, it's in between the windows. But moments ago, it was right in front of the window. And also, look at Granddad Dog's position. Behind him is a board, and to his right, there's a door. But when the scene zooms onto him, his position is completely different. Now there's window to his right. In the episode Viking Day, when Grandpa Pig is looking at Miss Rabbit's stall through his binoculars, we can notice there are 3 slices of cake on the counter. But seconds later, the scene zooms onto the stall, and there are now only 2 slices. No one here is eating the cake, so where did it disappear? And that's not all. We noticed another error through Grandpa Pig's binoculars. If we zoom onto Granny Wolf, we can see her cup is blue colored. But when the scene zooms onto her, we can see the color of her cup is now red. Going back to the episode Fun Run, when Madame Gazelle is briefing Daddy Pig about the race, we can notice that the classroom looks unusually larger than before. Also, focus on the whiteboard on the left side, behind Daddy Pig. It has disappeared, but moments later, the whiteboard reappears. But this time, it's on the right side of the room. In the episode Parachute Jump, the school roof is leaking again.
And the school roof is leaking again.
Do you guys notice anything odd in this scene? Shouldn't there be a ceiling here?
We raised the money to fix the school roof.
Here, we can see the rain pouring all over the classroom, but the hole isn't even that big. So where's all this rain pouring from? Later, when Peppa and George tell Mummy Pig about the skydiving thing, we can notice a fridge in the background. And on the fridge door, there are various types of stickers. Now look carefully at these 2 stickers, the A and the B. But the mistake is, when the scene zooms onto Mummy Pig, the B sticker simply disappears. In the episode The Little Boat, the pig family goes to a picnic. When they are driving to the picnic spot, the scene zooms onto Peppa and George. Now look carefully, they both are missing something. Do you know what it is? Actually, both Peppa and George are missing their arms in this shot. And also, the seat in front of Peppa is empty, whereas moments ago, we saw Daddy Pig sitting in that seat. When the pig family reaches the picnic spot, everyone jumps out of the car. But when Daddy Pig was about to jump out of the car, we noticed an unusual mistake. Look carefully, Daddy Pig is wearing a seatbelt, but as he's about to jump, the seatbelt disappears. In the episode The Outback, we noticed a really weird mistake. Here, the pig family are exploring the Australian outback, along with the kangaroo family. In one of the scenes, Mummy Pig is gathering sticks for fire when Daddy Kangaroo brings out the barbecue grill. Now focus on these sticks. When Mummy Pig puts down the sticks and kicks it back, the sticks are still there. But when Peppa enters the frame, the stick magically disappears. The stick simply vanished right before our eyes. And also, we see a platypus in the middle of the desert, when in real life, they live in the water. So, this is a logical error. And that's not all. When Daddy Kangaroo is grilling corn on the cob, we can see there are 5 pieces on the grill. But when he serves the corn on the plate, there are now 6. Moving on, in the episode Kylie Kangaroo. Kylie Kangaroo and her family go to Peppa's house for a visit. When they are at the house, the entire pig family comes outside to greet them. Now look carefully at the Pig family. We can notice that Peppa and George are standing right in front of Daddy and Mummy Pig. But the issue is, when the scene zooms in to Peppa and George, Mummy and Daddy Pig disappear from the frame. But earlier, we saw they were right behind Peppa and George. There's one more mistake in this episode, and it is even funnier. After Peppa and George meet Kylie Kangaroo and her brother Joey, Peppa shows Kylie how to jump up and down in muddy puddles. Now look at the size of Muddy Puddle, it's quite small. But when other characters start to jump in the puddle, the size of it magically changes. We can clearly see the puddle changing its size out of nowhere. In the episode Grandpa Pig's Birthday, the Pig family goes to a fancy restaurant to celebrate Grandpa Pig's birthday. When they arrive at the table, we can see there are 4 napkins there. But the mistake is, when Daddy Pig puts on the napkin on Peppa and George, the 2 other napkins simply disappear. No one else besides Peppa and George is wearing the napkin. So where did it go? Now let's take a trip to Mummy Pig's magical kitchen, where things tend to appear and disappear out of nowhere. In the episode Pretend Friend, Susie Sheep has come to play with Peppa and has made up a pretend friend called Leo Lion. After playing in the garden for a while, Mummy Pig calls them to eat some fruitcake. Now look carefully. Here we can see Mummy Pig has cut out 2 pieces of cake, one for Peppa and another for Susie. And if we look at the cake, it seems like someone has taken 2 pieces out of it. So far so good. But the mistake is, moments later Mummy Pig cuts 1 more piece of cake and gives it to Susie's pretend friend. So now there are 3 total slices of cake, right? But the mistake is, if we look at the cake here, its size is similar to before, when there were only 2 pieces cut from it. Here, we can see the cake before and after is the same size, even though 1 extra slice was cut. Seriously, Mummy Pig's magical kitchen never ceases to amaze us. In one of the episodes where Peppa and her friends make their own musical instruments, we noticed a funny mistake. Right at the beginning of the episode, we see the kids playing different musical instruments while Madame Gazelle is watching them. And if we look right behind Madame Gazelle, we can notice a glass filled with colored pencils. But the mistake is, moments later, when Madame Gazelle brings out a box, the glass behind her disappears. But a few seconds later, the glass filled with colored pencils reappeared. In the episode Sailing Boat, Peppa and George go sailing with Grandpa Pig. They get on his boat and realize there is no tide to sail. Soon the tide comes, and the 3 pigs happily sail. But later in the episode, they lose the tide and get stranded in the sea. Now look carefully. When Grandpa Pig is calling Grandma Pig, if we zoom onto the deck, we can notice there is no hatch there. But seconds later, when the scene zooms in, a hatch magically appears in front of Grandpa Pig. And that's not all. Later, when Peppa and George go to bed, we can notice they go to bed wearing life jackets on top of their regular clothes. But the next morning, when Peppa wakes up, we can see she's now wearing her nightgown. Maybe she changed her clothes in her dreams. So, these were some of the mistakes we noticed in Peppa Pig, and as always, we'll see you all in the next video.